Hey guys, this is Fuller and welcome to another new Hearthstone cards. This time it's all about legendary spells for all the custom heroes that we went through together so far. So Death Knight, Monk, Pirate Lord, Dragon Prince, Lich, you name it, they're all here. Let's go. The first one just had to be the Death Knight one. It is Lich King. For 9 mana, destroy your hero and replace him with the Lich King. It works very much like Jiraxxus. You are set to 15 health and you gain a new hero power and a weapon. Now Jiraxxus gains Inferno. For 2 mana you can summon a 6/6 every turn. There's 2 main ideas for new hero powers I had. Which of these would you rather? Undead Legion, for 2 mana, fill your board with 1/1 ghouls. So every turn you can flood your board continuously. They don't have charge, but you have an endless undead army. The other hero power is Dominate. For 4 mana, gain control of an enemy minion. So essentially a free mind control every turn. Very powerful, but it relies on there being stuff to steal. At the end stages of the game, your enemy might be simply pyroblasting your face. The weapon would be a 2/4 which freezes anything it hits, so overall this would be a very strong spell if you can get it out. On to the Lords of Pirates hero, it is Weapons Ahoy. For 3 mana, double your weapons attack. A lot more simplistic than the Lich King, but a great potential one-off finisher card. Remember, a lot of pirates benefit from having a huge attack weapon. Dread Corsair would definitely be free, and a Bloodsail Raider would be a huge 2-drop. Either way, if you happen to have a weapon with a lot of durability, you can get a lot of big attacks in. Next we're on to the Dragon hero Raytheon. It is Day of Dragons. For 6 mana, transform all of your minions into 5/5 dragons. It's very conditional, but you can turn anything you have. So if you're running a few cheap token minions like Harvest Golem, Haunted Creepers, you can instantly swing them around into bigger minions. It bridges the gap between non-dragons and dragons, letting you run pretty cool decks. On top of that, you have all the dragon synergy spells that go with any dragons you have on the field. Here's my favourite for the Lich hero, it is Phylactery. Now previously I had this as a minion, which a few of you pointed out there were ways to get stealth on it, meaning you was pretty much invincible. So here it is remade into a legendary spell. For 1 mana your hero is immune until the end of your next turn, and then you lose the game. A final desperate measure. It's cheap but very risky. You need to be sure you can win by next turn. So similar to Ice Lock, but not something you can just throw down casually. On to the Mountain King, another simple one. It is Strength of Titans. For 9 mana, give a minion +10/+10. Tap into the ancient dwarven powers. So any little thing you've got down becomes an absolute monster. Like a Pyroblast, except you also get a huge minion your enemy now has to deal with. You gotta be wary of taunts. Can you survive long enough to play this though? Next, the Demon Hunter, it is Mana Overload. For 5 mana, whenever the enemy hero uses a mana crystal next turn, deal 1 damage to the enemy hero. So if he spends 3, he takes 3 damage. If he spends 10, he takes 10 damage. It's like a low fab spell and it disrupts your opponent's plays. Now strength wise, a fireball would just deal 6 damage to him for 4. So ideally you want to play this as late as possible, where you can drop something big and play this together at the same time. Hopefully he'll be forced to spend 8, 9 or even 10 mana. Time for some Murlocs. It is Core of the Murlocs. For 4 mana, both players add Murloc cards to their hand until they both hold 5 cards. Now in a Murloc rush deck, this card's amazing for replenishing your hand. The price though is, your opponent gets some Murlocs as well. But if you play at the right time, you can mitigate that if he already has a handful and you have an empty hand. Although if he plays Murlocs, he could be buffing yours up too. On to Blood Mage, it is Doom. For 10 mana, deal 15 damage to your hero. Then, if you weren't killed, deal 15 damage to the enemy hero. Basically, if he's under 15 health and you're over, you win. Or even if he's just close, you might be able to finish him off with minions you have down. It's a very risky card to run. and it can easily be unplayable as soon as you get to 15 or less health. But you could potentially build an entire very defensive deck all around this card. Now for the last one, and by far the craziest one. For the monk is Storm, Earth and Fire. For 8 mana your hero power becomes Storm, Earth and Fire. This means you get 3 hero powers you can use for the rest of the game. Storm is 2 mana, return an enemy minion to its owner's hand. Earth is summon a 3/3 minion with taunt, whilst Fire is just simply deal 4 damage. At 8 mana you pretty much have to give up a turn to play this, so fairly risky, but from then on every turn you can spend 6 mana for all 3 of these powers. A crazy alternative idea I had is it splits you into 3 heroes with 5 health each. Your opponent would have to kill each one in order to win. Perhaps a bit too crazy. Alright guys, that's it for crazy legendary spells. Next up I'll show you how the mod has been progressing. It's been a while, hasn't it? One thing I would like to start doing is the odd Dota video here and there, a tutorial or top 10, we'll see. I do love the game. Please leave a like and let me know which legendaries are completely OP. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.